Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About Houses. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
Okay, the word of the day is foreclosures.
Foreclosures are coming. Hurrah, hurrah.
Okay, the foreclosures are, here's an article we read. Foreclosures are spiking. Okay, spiking. How bad of an omen is this for the 2023 housing market? Read the article. And then we found another article with actual data for the Mortgage Bankers Association. So we're gonna talk about both of these.
Okay.
Okay, here's the first quote. About 1 in every 4,000 homes had a foreclosure filing in May. Not a actual foreclosure, but just the first step to notice default. Okay, according to a recent report from Real Estate Data for Adam, foreclosure filings shot up 7%.
Okay, so 7% is important. But remember, like everything else, we need context.
Okay, 7% from April, and we're up 14% year over year. So we have 14%. So if there was 10 last year, then there was 11, basically 11.4.
Right.
Yeah, okay, this is why we're talking about this, because here's another one. Quote, when the federal moratorium ended in 2012, many states extended it. Now homeowners who have been late on their mortgage payments for the past few years are being served with foreclosure notices. So only 1 in 4,000 mortgages, not all homes, because remember, this is only representing mortgages. So we have 1 in 4,000 when only about half the homes actually have a mortgage on them. So it's 1 in 8,000 houses, right? It's 1 in 8,000
Right.
houses.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's misleading. That's why when we talk about these numbers, we have to put this in context. And then here's another quote. Most homeowners are okay. Well, no kidding, says Eric. He sees some homeowners who stopped paying their mortgage during the moratorium who are now being asked to make up payments in one large sum, which they're struggling or unable to do. Juana, let's say you missed your payments. You haven't paid in a year or two. Your home's worth $250,000 more than it was 2 years ago. What are some of your options other than being foreclosed? Honestly, what are your odds of being foreclosed? They serve the foreclosure notice. On average in the U.S., how long does it take to actually be foreclosed from the day the NOD is filed?
It's like almost 1,000 days, like 900 and some odd days.
950 days. It's like almost 3 years, okay?
Yeah.
So you have 3 years to figure this out. What are some of the options? What's something you could do in that 3-year period while you're not making your mortgage payment?
Right. So you can, of course, sell the property, take whatever proceeds are due to you, pay the bank off, and everybody's happy-go-lucky. You can get a loan modification, and a lot of lenders will do that. They do want to modify your loan. They do not want to foreclose. It's not in their interest, okay? Foreclosures are expensive. They're messy. The optics are poor. They really do want to work with you. So there are choices.
Okay, so we're going to go, and now we're going to show the chart.
Okay.
This is the U.S. properties with foreclosure filings. This is just a notice of default. You see that big spiky area looks sort of like Bart Simpson all the way kind of on the left. That was the great financial crisis. That was tons of foreclosures. That's when we were selling all the bank-owned homes in Vegas. And you can see it basically dropped to zero. And then now when you look at that little dot all the way on the right, remember it went up like that's showing the 14% from last year basically. So you can see that these things, that's the spike. That little bitty uptick is the spike. It spiked. If it went down 14%, they wouldn't have said it collapsed, or it would have said it dropped very slightly, like not even noticeably, right? This puts in perspective. Now let me put this in perspective as well. Okay, this is what's going to take for the housing market to crash. You got to get back up to those levels of like 900,000 foreclosure filings a quarter, okay? So now we're at 100,000 foreclosure filings, maybe a little over. So if it goes up 14% year over year, that means it takes 7 years to double, to go from 100 to 200. So if you draw that out, it takes 7 years, okay? So then 7 times 8 is 56. It would take 56 years at the current rate for the housing market to crash. So I'm going to make a prediction. In the year 2085, the housing market will crash.
So you and I will be around in the year 2085.
It'll crash.
And we will look fabulous. We'll just be heads floating around, but we will look fabulous. And we'll be around to know if Todd was right or not.
Yeah, if you take that little flat line and draw it out for you know, all those years, 2085, it'll be up to 900,000. Now, there'll probably be twice as many houses in the U.S., so it won't be as bad. Okay, so we made our point. But now what we're going to do is we're going to jump over to the data we found from Mortgage Bankers Association. Okay, now there's two things here, Juana. What's the difference between a mortgage delinquency and a foreclosure filing?
Okay, so delinquency is somebody who is simply late. You know, they haven't paid. Maybe they're, check got lost in the mail, whatever it is. And the foreclosure filing is when they've actually started the process of trying to take it to the end point, which is foreclosing on the property, taking the property back because that's the security for the loan, and then reselling the property to get their money out of that, and then paying the debtor whatever money is left over.
Okay, here's the article. Mortgage delinquency rate in first quarter 2023 declines to second lowest level in Mortgage Bankers Association survey. This is the second lowest level they've ever recorded, ever, in the history of however long they've been doing this. Probably
they've been
forever.
doing it since like 1979, I think.
Okay. King George was king back then. Okay, here's some actual numbers from it. Delinquency rate was, we've got a chart, so don't leave. Great chart at the end. Delinquency rate was down 40 basis points from the fourth quarter of 22 and down 55 basis points from 1 year ago. Percentage of loans on which foreclosed actions were started in the first quarter rose by 2 basis points to 0.16%. That's literally almost no foreclosures. Now remember, that's just the filing. Okay, so imagine this. 0.16% of all houses get a foreclosure notice. Only about an eighth of those end up, and somewhere between 1/8 and 1/12 actually get foreclosed, because the rest just get caught up, they sell, right?
Right. They get caught up. There's mitigation. Remember, there are lenders who are allowing people to extend the term of their loan, to amortize that over whatever period of time. So there are all kinds of mitigations that lenders are able and willing to do.
Okay, here's the chart. This is very fun. This takes two different factors.
Right, so this is two data sets. You know, I really found this super interesting because you're looking at two things. You're looking at the delinquency rate and you're looking at the unemployment rate. And if you look, these rates are almost the same starting with about 1998. So right now we're about 3.5% for each. So I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah. Unemployment obviously would have to go up to 10% or some crazy number, which is not going to happen. Mm-hmm. We have literally the lowest unemployment and the lowest delinquency rate we've ever had. Like, it's never literally been below 4% until just right now.
Right.
So no one's getting foreclosed. And then the other thing is, imagine this. This represents the pool of all homes. But remember, every year that pool of homes with mortgages shrink. Mm-hmm. So remember, 42% of all homes are owned free and clear. In Vegas, it's 48%. And if you count condos, it's over half. Half of all properties in Las Vegas are owned free and clear. So you're only talking about half the homes. And then you take half the homes and you have 0.16% of the mortgages, homes with mortgages. That's why foreclosure rates are so down, is everybody owns their home now. And why would you want to be foreclosed when your payment's $1,100? You can't rent for that. You don't want to be foreclosed. You want to keep that $1,100, a month 3% rate going.
Right. I mean, even if you're renting an apartment in Vegas, you're going to pay more than $1,100.
Okay. The only thing that I've heard is, okay, because everything that has been said negative about housing, foreclosures, etc., nothing's happened. But this recession is getting, man, this thing has come. It's been coming for like 3 years now. The recession's coming, it's coming, right? And here's a quote from the article. Consistent with the resilient job market, the performance of existing mortgages is exceeding expectations. Across all states, there was an improvement in the first quarter compared to a year ago. Year-over-year delinquencies for all product types, FHA, VA conventional, were down, meaning less delinquencies. Everything's getting better, more people are working. It's not like we're going to have this massive recession. Nobody's predicting a massive recession. Matter of fact, the Fed has even predicted year-over-year growth the rest of this year and all of next year.
Right. And, just so you know where this data is coming from, like Todd said, this is the Mortgage Bankers Association, but this article their data set for this article is the loan servicers. So these are the people who actually collect the money from people making mortgage payments. So these are the people who would be the first to know as far as delinquencies, right?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the investor that has purchased that loan, but it's the servicer. So these are the gatekeepers. These are the people that people mailed or pay the payments online to.
Look, the bottom line is there's not going to be foreclosures. There are not going to be any foreclosures. They're not coming. Housing market's not going to crash. There's nothing. I mean, interest rates went from 3 to 7, and literally very little happened to the housing market. Year over year, 0.9% decline in prices nationwide.
So the rise in interest rates actually choked off inventory. That's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Sellers said, no, thank you, I'm not selling. That was the biggest impact of the rise in interest rates.
Literally, I mean, those people almost own the home. Like free, like I don't care that they owe $250,000 on their mortgage. Their payment is like a car payment. Like if you buy a brand new Tesla, that's probably more monthly payment than most people's house payments in the U.S.
It's pretty amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Got anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, that's it. So thank you for sticking around with us. We appreciate it. If you found this interesting, entertaining, amusing, or otherwise worth your time, we are very, very happy for that. Please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please share the video so other people can be exposed to our sense of humor. Please leave us comments. You don't have to agree with us. We appreciate all the comments. Please be nice to one another in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.
Bye.